Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Total Nutrition TV. I'm your host, Ernest Santos, and I'm joined today by Total Nutrition affiliate athlete, Donda Zimmer. So welcome, Donda.
Thank you.
Very happy to have you on. Excited to talk about your journey. Excited to talk about, give some insight to our customers and to our maybe potential customers out there. And just give them some motivation, give them some fire. We'd love to offer them as much information as they could possibly get in regards to that, and I'll hand it off to you. So let's start from the beginning of your fitness journey. So I know it started back in, was it 2003?
It was 2003, so I had just had my third child.
Okay. Yeah.
Cesarean, and my husband was stationed to Korea, which was unaccompanied. So at that point in time, I had gained about 30 pounds, and I just was very uncomfortable, not happy, and I figured what better time than to use the time that he's gone to try and lose a weight that I had gained within a year. So I went out and I bought a treadmill, and I started running, and after I started running, I lost 30 pounds within about maybe a month or so.
Wow.
Because I was running every day. So and that's
30?
About 30 pounds.
Wow.
So I mean, I just complete baby weight gone. So, and that's how it actually started. That's where everything began.
Okay.
So from there, when my husband came home, we were stationed in Alaska, and in 2007, I used to go to the gym all the time. Really didn't know what I was doing at that time, other than running and lifting a little bit here and there. And I had somebody come up to me and ask me if I was an athlete, and I kind of was like, no. So they kind of suggested that I go off and
it's a good feeling.
It was a good feeling.
Compliment.
It was a compliment, and I was just like, wow, okay. So they asked me if I was going to be competing, and I really didn't know what they were talking about, but it kind of like sparked something in me. So about 2 months later, I was on stage competing. So that's how it took. Yeah. So and I just took it from there.
So did you make any real extreme tweaks to get yourself on in stage shape, or go into that a little bit?
So it wasn't too much other than the diet. So I had already been lifting for a little while. So and with the cardio that I had already been doing, I was already lean. What I lacked was a little bit of the muscle at the time. So the 2 months that I took to kind of put that muscle on was really what was intense, along with a little bit of the diet plan that I had to be on, because it's a diet plan that you got to follow. And it's you got to be very dedicated. You got to be motivated. You got to be in it. So that was about.
I'm interrupting you, but going back a little bit to when you lost the 30 pounds, right? Just you said it was baby weight. I think I know the answer to this, but what was your nutrition at that time?
So I pretty much just kind of switched it up. So instead of doing things that were white, because I didn't know too much at that point in time, I just knew that at that time white wasn't good, which is really not true. I mean, you can always substitute now, but I didn't know that back then.
But you were keeping it simple.
But I was keeping it simple.
And it seemed to work.
And I wasn't overeating. So the minute I felt full, I was done. I would put it down. I made sure that I drank a lot of water. It's what kept me full at the time, and just switch stuff out.
So keeping hydrated, making sure that you're eating to satisfaction and not overdoing.
Right.
That's huge.
Right, and getting that cardio in. So cardio is very, very important. So very, very important. And of course the resistance training, adding that, and the nutrition. I mean, that's a power formula right there. It's the threes. Yeah,
absolutely. And I know you hit some obstacles along the way. I mean, the cesarean definitely, and then moving forward. So talk a little bit about that. And then what your progress is, what your progress has been from there.
Quite a few obstacles. I've had 3 cesareans, so just coming back from cesareans is kind of hard. A lot of people think that once they've had a cesarean, you can never go back to what you used to be, which is not true. So that was a couple of obstacles that I had hit, along with life-changing surgeries, where I ended up having a hysterectomy, and it just came out of nowhere. Just a lot of problems. From there on, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I was having a lot of pain, and that's pretty much what kept me going, is the fact that everything that kept coming against me, I turned it around and I became an overcomer. Along with that, I ended up having to have foot surgeries, and I had 2 foot surgeries, so one on my right and one on my left, and they were very hard to come back from. I ended up having to have injections, which is the PRPs, because of the different pains that I was having. So lots of setbacks, but along the way, it built my character. So it was something that I used to kind of motivate myself and to keep going forward.
You built on it.
Exactly. That's exactly what I did. I turned it around.
Yeah, and you know, I think that's really important for everybody out there to understand and to realize, is that you're going to be hit with obstacles, and that some are going to be huge, some are going to be minor, but all of them are going to be a point where you could either lay down, right, or you can step it up and take it to the next level, and really just improve your life. So I find it motivating. We've talked a little bit about this a little before when she first got on board with us here, and it was motivating then. It's motivating for me right now, just talking with her about this, and I hope that you're finding that same motivation when she's dropping this stuff on you. You know, I love hearing that stuff. Can you dig a little bit more into kind of where your path is taking you right now, and what you're looking forward to in the future, and then we'll talk a little bit about your nutrition, because I definitely want to key in on that in a sec.
So the path that I'm on now is basically just going out there and building, making sure that my body is getting what it needs to build, making sure that I'm healthy, because really the bottom line is to be healthy. It's great, you know, to be nice and fit and to look good, but you know, at the end of the day, you want to be healthy, you want to feel good about what you're doing. Yeah, and it's something that we all need to pretty much learn on, because it's not always about the appearance, it's about how you feel on the inside.
Absolutely.
And how it's going to keep you going later on in life.
And it's not always about the scale.
That's right.
It's how you look, it's how you look, how you feel.
Exactly.
What the blood panel reveals, right? It's not with the scale.
It's not about the scale, especially for women, because women they tend to focus on a number, and the number always changes. Especially women, you know, they carry water weight, you know, and there's times of the month, of course, and it's just, you know, you're going to always fluctuate. So I don't ever go off the scale, you know, never. So
I think one other thing, since we're on that, you know, what is your perspective on? I know you have a different perspective on it. You might have a different perspective on this, because you've been into the, you know, the physique training and all that to get ready for the stage. But protein, good or bad?
Very important.
Yeah.
It helps to build your muscles. You definitely need protein. You also need carbs as well.
Absolutely.
You know, carbs get a lot of, you know, bad rep, but carbs are very important for your brain. So and that's the first thing that it does. So you definitely need it for your brain.
Yeah.
And of course everything else follows, which is going to be the energy. Simple carbs are very important as well. So you got to have all that stuff.
And you know what it comes down to on those carbs, and I talk about it a lot, and even on the more specific to the carbs though, is going to be the timing of those carbs.
Exactly.
Right? Because you're not going to want to get, you know, a big bowl of rice, white rice, right before you go to bed.
Exactly.
Because all that's going to do is just sit there. You're not expending any energy, and all that stuff does is get soaked up and stored as fat.
Exactly.
So timing is huge. Carbs, absolutely. That's not. You're trying to stay fit. You're trying to stay healthy. Whatever it may be, you're going to need some type of carbohydrate in there. Now it's about how much carbs, and then the types of carbs that you're consuming. And protein, for everybody out there, women specifically, because it has a bad rap for women. I can't tell you how many women I talk to on a regular basis that when I talk to them about protein and them needing it for weight management, for well-being, they're scared. And they're scared because they think that protein is for the big bodybuilder out there. And you're gonna look like Arnold Schwarzenegger if you take protein. But it's really not the case. You need protein to give you nice, clean energy throughout the day. It's the only source of food that will actually shut off the hunger signal in the brain. It will take out that hunger when you're consuming protein. Think about it. When you eat a whole lot of carbs, you're eating a bag of chips. What do you want after you eat that bag of chips? You want another bag of chips. What do you want after that one? I can eat another bag of chips. So carbs will not shut down the hunger mechanism in the brain. Protein will. So if we're eating that bag of chips and then we throw in a good portion size of protein, that's tons better than just doing straight carbohydrates by itself. And not just because it's going to cut down the hunger, but also because it's going to balance your blood sugar out. And fats also help with that. So kind of went on a rant there. But protein's 100% necessary. Don't be afraid of it, is my point. All right. So to give them some insight, key in on your nutrition on a daily basis. Let's just give a Donda Zimmer daily meal session throughout the day. So what you do in the morning, what you do for snacks, what you do midday, and then what you do at the end of the day to wind down.
All right. So morning time, I always start off with breakfast. I never skip breakfast ever because it's going to pretty much start off your day. So
Excellent.
Something typical for me is going to be oatmeal. I mean,
Okay.
oatmeal. I can have oatmeal all day long.
I'm a fiend for oatmeal.
I love it.
Stuff.
Egg whites, and of course I always add a couple of yolks depending
Yeah.
on how many eggs I'm going to be doing and you know what season I'm in as far as whether I'm building or I'm losing. So it just kind of depends. But
So yolks, good.
good yolks are very good.
They're not bad for you.
Not bad for you. You need the good fat. So
Okay.
it's something that you need. I also will go ahead and add
Definitely
CLA.
necessary.
Yeah, it's good stuff, so
Yeah.
you don't want to do without it. But
Yeah.
I do CLAs. I do my fish oil. I make sure I have a multivitamin.
Okay.
Multivitamin. You cannot be without a multivitamin,
Yeah.
so especially when you're building. So that's pretty much what I do. I also do thermogenics depending on what it is that I'm going to be doing that day.
Okay.
So it just kind of just depends. So
So breakfast in the morning, you're hitting, how much oatmeal would you say you're doing? About
about half a cup.
half a cup,
Half a
okay?
cup.
And then how much protein would you say you're doing in the morning?
It just kind of depends.
And oatmeal's not protein, it's a carb.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
carb.
doesn't count as a protein
Doesn't
source.
count, no.
Even though it says it on the labels, protein content on your Quaker Oats, that doesn't count.
No.
Your protein needs to come from a dairy source or a meat source. That's going to be the real stuff, or fish.
Exactly.
So, all right. So you got your protein. It went off there for a second. You got your carbohydrates, about half a cup. You got a few eggs in there.
At least 6.
Okay, you got 6.
At least 6.
There you go,
So,
6
and
eggs.
Of course, I do my 2 eggs.
Okay.
So it's got the yolk in it. So
Nice.
just
So
kinda
out of the
depends.
6, you got 2 egg yolks in there.
Out of that.
Excellent.
I
Okay.
do a simple carb. So simple carb, you can do orange juice, or you can do anything, an orange, a grapefruit, half a grapefruit,
Okay.
just anything to get that sugar going.
Okay.
So and that's what my morning is.
Nice.
About maybe 2.5 hours or to 3 hours later, then I will have a snack. It just kind of depends. I'll do a banana, and I'll have, say, for instance, graham crackers, or it just depends right back to that season. What am I on?
Yeah.
What am I trying to do? What am I building?
So going into that, one thing I wouldn't recommend for somebody that's on a weight loss regimen is to not just do any carbohydrates by itself. So we go back to the balancing out the blood sugar. If we're gonna get some type of carbohydrate in there, let's stack on a protein and let's get a healthy fat in there, like a coconut oil and a scoop of protein. Perfect option. So, had to butt in there for a second.
No, it's okay.
And then what are you jumping into lunch?
So my
doing?
lunch is going to be something like chicken. So I do about maybe 4 to 6 ounces of chicken, just kind of depending again. And I want to make sure that I always get my greens in there.
Okay.
And I'm always making sure that at that point in time, I'm going to go ahead and add my carb. So I'll do like a sweet potato. Sometimes I'll do a white potato. It just kind of depends. If I've done legs, more than likely I'm going to throw in a white potato really quick, just to
Okay.
kind of give me that energy, that quick fix there.
Okay.
So, but
Yeah.
about
So on an average day, you'd be getting in, about a piece of chicken breast?
it's at least 2, so it's like tenderloins is what I normally
Okay.
do, because
Okay.
it's a little bit easier, and
Yeah.
they're smaller, so I normally count them out. I know exactly, how many I need, as opposed to putting it on my scale and having
Yeah.
to kind of weigh it out.
Just eyeball it.
Just pretty much eyeball it,
Yeah.
You get,
And then you get some type of carbohydrate in there.
I'll get a carbohydrate in there.
Okay.
And then
All right,
I'll get
excellent.
my veggies,
Excellent. You get your
get
greens.
my greens.
So, all right. And then moving on from there. So we've got 3 meals down for the day. And after lunch, what are you looking at?
So I'm looking at a snack. So
All
the
right.
snack, just kind of depending, sometimes I'll do a rice cake with a
Got
little
it.
bit of almond butter.
There you go, perfect.
And I'm done.
Mhm.
Or I will do, say for instance, tuna fish as a snack and maybe a little fruit. So it just
Excellent.
depends,
Okay.
on what I'm kind of craving and
Okay.
where I'm at as far as calories go, which I normally don't count calories. I just kind of have a, kind of look at it and like, well, okay, I know what I'll be doing here. But, we all fluctuate,
You find as long as you find a balance within those meals
Exactly.
as far as your macros. And when I say macros, I'm talking about protein, fats, and carbs. As long as you find a balance there, nice ratio is always have more protein than your carbohydrates there. maybe about half, right, of carbohydrates to what your protein content is. Plug in a healthy fat. As long as you're running with that, you're money, you're golden. You're gonna find that you're feeling better, your energy level's up, and you're actually leaning out, and you're not on because you're not on a cereal diet. We're only eating cereal right before bedtime, or cereal first thing in the morning, straight carbohydrates, or coffee first thing in the morning, and then a cereal bar midday, and then some more carbs at night. That's not gonna fly. You're gonna be putting on weight even though you're eating only 200 calories a day. So definitely eat more often, eat balanced, be healthier.
Exactly.
And then dinner time. We'll end on that.
Dinner, tilapia, I'll do some type of fish.
There you go.
Sometimes I want salmon. It just depends on what I'm craving.
Yeah.
Put a little bit of lemon juice in it, just kind of give it a kick, different spices you can use.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and I'll do either a salad or I'll do my greens, but I don't do any carbs at night.
Perfect.
So if
Excellent. I
I
always
need something
recommend
different,
that.
I'll just do a protein shake.
Nice.
If I'm full, so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Throw in a protein shake, but it's lean. You're not getting any, when I mean lean, not that it's lean, you're missing fats. I mean it's lean where you have no
It's
complex carbs or simple sugars at night. Keep it with a veggie and keep it with your protein. Well, great. I think that wraps it up.
All right.
I think that was pretty good. I think we got some good content there. I think our viewers are gonna like that. And if we could have changed anything or answered any other questions that for you that we didn't cover in this episode, please comment, drop us a line, talk to us about it. I want to make sure that we're giving you quality content and stuff that you're gonna really soak up and you're gonna put to use in your daily life. So, Donda, appreciate it. Thank
Thanks for
you.
having
It was a
me.
pleasure.
Appreciate it.
And guys, until next time, we'll see y'all later.